everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of notanalog.com. I've been on vacation for around a month, so I haven't been able to do a review for a while, but I'm actually glad to be back because I've got a great phone to show you, finally. It is the HTC Cha-Cha. This is the phone for the Facebook addict, which must be you because you've looked up this review. I'm going to show you mainly around these new features. It's an Android phone, so if you've seen anything Android before, it's very much the same. Just a quick run around of the phone. 5 megapixel camera on the back, VGA camera on the front. It's got 512 meg of RAM, so it's not the most fastest smartphone you'll ever use, and I guess it kind of fits in that different price point anyway. Full-size keyboard, kind of looking at BlackBerry and saying, hey, we can do it too. And the touch screen as well, so you still have the best of both worlds. And of course the little home buttons which you're used to on an Android phone. Really, really cool. The Facebook button is the one which makes this phone completely different as well. When you push the button, it starts to enable all these different Facebook features, slightly different to what you normally see in just having the app. It's quite light. I think it only weighs, I have the stats near me, 124 grams. So really light, really smooth, and really, it still feels really strong. It doesn't feel like it's going to break in your hand. So if you are the young person who loves Facebook, is addicted to it, you don't have to be afraid to throw this in your handbag or in your pocket. Alright, this is the HTC Cha-Cha. You can see it's quite beautiful actually. The white is kind of nice. I don't really see it getting chipped or dirty in a hurry. It actually seems quite rugged in that design. Volume rocker on the side, and that's pretty much the only button except for the power button. 3.5mm jack, and just the micro USB charger, and obviously a single LED flash. Really quite simple. Doesn't need to be overly complicated because you know what, you just probably want to use it for Facebook. So anyway, I've turned this phone on, and some cool little things. You can see these shortcuts that they've added here. You can customize these as well. So say for example, I pulled out of my pocket, boom, all I want to do is take a photo because that's what I'm trying to do, is capture the moment. Just drag the camera symbol in, and the first thing it's going to do is take me to that mode. I find that really cool. I think you know, for somebody who is on the run and likes to do things a lot, you can get quick access to all these simple things, and you can customize these as you like. So anyway, otherwise you can just drag the circle out and just go to the normal home screen. So as usual with HTC, when you go across, you've got these different home screens. You can see the way I've customized it, each to their own. There's obviously more widgets that you can add. HTC love to add their own, which I appreciate as well because they have some really good widgets. You can see straight away all my Facebook people who are online. I can talk to them with a click of a button. My Gmail calendar is synchronized here. I've got some favorite friends which I've added onto the app as well, and FriendStream, which is a HTC application as well. I can obviously add more widgets, more apps, more shortcuts, folders, the whole lot if I wanted to. Change the skin, change the way it looks. There is so much that I can do there. So really, there's just plenty of space you can do just in the home screen. So what I'm going to do, let's go into here, run straight from the top. Books, which you may still use. I think the screen is a little bit small to be doing some real reading on. The interesting thing is as well, let me just really quickly open one, is it actually operates in, I guess, this version's this way of landscape, or I don't know what you call it now. It is a portrait, however it should be anyway. But you can see the way it is. I think this is a little bit awkward if you were actually going to be doing any reading, but I guess it's there if you need to use it. Really interesting thing that they've done. A bit further in, calculator, calendar, pretty basic stuff there. The camera, it has got a front-facing camera and the one on the back. The one on the back is obviously a hell of a lot better. The one on the front's a little not as good. The clock is simple, Facebook, and Facebook chat. Really simple. It's all there, it's preloaded, it's ready to go. FM radio, plug your headphones in, listen to whatever radio station you would like, provided it's in your area, of course. The gallery, games, well, gallery is kind of normal as well. Gmail, the web browser, which of course is a typical Android web browser. Access to the Android market. The mirror for girls who like to make sure they look pretty before they go. It just activates the front-facing camera. Pretty simple, but pretty neat. The music app, so you can load this phone up with all your music. It's got a micro SD slot, so go for your life. Put whatever card in there you like and get listening. What else can I see here? News, weather, Google Talk for keeping up with your friends if they do use that. Otherwise, FB Chat. Twitter, which I'm a huge fan of. video app, of course, Wi-Fi hotspot, which is great. One thing which I will say about this phone is that even though it is a cheaper handset compared to other HTCs or other Android phones, you don't actually lose anything. It still has all the features, which I just love. So, why is this a Facebook phone? Why have they got the button? What's it actually do? So from the home screen, I can push the button, bang, I could post to my wall, or I could click here and post to somebody else's wall within a couple of clicks. I think that's really cool, and obviously blah blah blah. I'm not going to post it because my friends will think, why is he posting random letters? I can also just get quick access to the camera to take that photo and then post that to my wall, or I could just go to my photos, it loads them up, here's a camera shot. Yes, I want to post this to my wall, there's my description, it's ready to go in seconds. But let me take it a step further back. Say for example, I have a picture in my gallery that I love. So I'm going to go to a shot which I've taken this morning when I was sitting in traffic, as you do. I'm going to push the Facebook button and it already is ready to go. So you can see it's got that photo ready to upload into my Facebook album. I can quickly tag if I would like to and add a description. Hit done and it's gone. And this is why it's the Facebook phone. They've taken the things that you normally do in life and made them quicker with that simple button. And they've actually built it into the phone as well. It's not just a button, so I really, really respect that from HTC. They've done a good job with it. Now, obviously, these are the albums and images on my phone. If I scroll down, it takes me to Facebook albums. So what it does is it shows me all the photos of my friends, my photos, whatever I like. I can click on a person's name, click on my own, and see the photos. That's really cool. Obviously, it synchronizes with Flickr as well, which is something new for me, which I don't actually use a lot because I put all my photos on Facebook and Picasa a little bit as well, but anyway, different story. So that's really cool. Now, if I go into my contacts, I don't know if I synchronize my contacts. Where is my contacts? Probably address book. Am I looking at it? Can you guys see it? And you're screaming at the TV or computer going, it's just there, it's just there. Oh, where are you? Is it people? I could be going crazy here. Okay, so you'll see that the contacts which I've got here, it's got the name and it's got their last status update as well, which is really cool. Say, for example, before you call your friend, you're just going to go to their name, you know what their last status update was, so that before you call them, you already know whether they're having a good day or a bad day. Maybe you won't even call them. But you can see what I mean. I think that having that, and having obviously all the Facebook images come through as well is really, really cool. And I think you'll get a lot out of it. So Facebook is all through this phone. Everywhere you go, there's a little Facebook setting or something that you can do, and I think that's just really, really cool. Obviously, you've got the Facebook widgets for whenever you need it, and of course, I can go into Facebook chat and I can start having a conversation. So the keyboard, just looking separately at all this, keyboard is great. The buttons are so evenly spaced out. I love having a dedicated button for full stop. I think that's awesome. You've also got the alternate keys. So you can see the ones in blue. So if I push the FN key, it takes me to the alternates. So if I say, for example, I go FN and press the full stop button, it's also a camera, so that takes me into a quick mode for the camera, which is really cool. And same thing for any of the other buttons like numbers and things like that. So what they've done as well, which you're kind of watching me use it and wondering about it, there's a lot of buttons here which I haven't really been using a whole lot, and I've got the call and hang up button, which maybe isn't that needed so much because of the way Android works, but you know what, they've done it and you've got some extra buttons to use. I love the arrows. You can actually operate almost the whole phone without even touching the screen. A lot of the time I am still touching because I'm used to it, but if I really wanted to, I could just use the arrows, press the enter key to select things and so on. So it's really quite interesting, but I must say that this phone is great for the Facebook addict. Alright guys, that was it. That's the HTC Cha-Cha. Where'd they get the name from? Don't know. I think in the US it's called the Status. Makes sense. Cha-Cha, it's a dance. It's not really relevant to the phone. I'm not dancing with it often, but I could be. Anyway, I really like this phone. If you're really into Facebook like I am, and you just can't get away from it, you're always updating your status and uploading pics because you want to keep in touch with friends, this is actually a really cool way of doing it. The full-size keyboard makes you ultra fast in typing, and it's quite light, does the job, and it does what it's meant to do. I recommend it for anyone who's looking for an inexpensive phone and needs Facebook in their lives. If not, maybe look at something else. HTC make a ton of other phones. It is not a powerhouse, so don't expect it to do huge processing, which you'll see out of the HTC Sensation, for example. They're not the same phones. The camera's not as good, the power inside is not as good, and so on. So, horses for courses, cars for roads, people for gyms, whatever you want to call it. HTC Cha-Cha. Check it out.